Hi, folks. This is Daniela Cambone, and welcome back to StansberryInvestor.com. Before we start today's segment, though, I want to just share with you a report that Stansberry Research has put out that I highly recommend you check out. With most investors going about life investing and retirement planning as if nothing unusual has happened to our financial system, not realizing the repercussions of the 11 trillion that's been pumped into the US financial system in the past 18 months alone, it's particularly a good read at this moment in time. At least 4 billionaires have stated publicly that Americans aren't paying enough attention to this development. And now a former Goldman Sachs banker says sooner than most people think, millions of Americans will potentially be pushed down out of the middle class, out of private retirement, and out of a decent life based on independence and privacy into a collectivist nightmare he calls financial lockdown. So find out how to protect yourself, your money, and your family with a free copy of his new report. In it, he'll show you the 4 steps he recommends you take immediately. You simply have to go to www.wakeupcall2021.com to get a free copy of this report. Again, it's www.wakeupcall2021.com. Get your free report today. It's a great read. All right, that said, welcome back to Stansberry Investor with one of your all-time favorite guests. Please welcome back Gerald Celente, founder and editor of the Trends Journal. Good to see you again, Gerald. Welcome back.
Well, thanks for having me back, Daniela. I love being on with you.
Well, you know, whenever you come on, it's a real special treat. The people love seeing you. So I was doing a lot of soul searching, a lot of thinking. We have a lot of ground to cover today. But I thought I'd start with this because, you know, we often hear you got to look for the red flags. You got to look for the warning signs in this environment. You got to be prepared. But here's my thought to you, Gerald. When you've lived with red flags and warning signs for so long, you become complacent to red flags. So in this negative interest rate environment, in this endless money printing environment, in this trillion-dollar debt environment, how does one see those red flags anymore?
What people need to understand is that it's not a banking system. It's not a government system. It's a crime syndicate. And I don't use those words lightly. I'll only stay with the facts. Look what happened when the panic of '08 happened. The Federal Reserve, that everyone knows is about as federal as Federal Express, pumped in 29 trillion with a T of secret money into the bankster system. Too big to fail. Remember that one? Oh yeah, after they screwed the people with these subprime mortgages and all the other dirty deals that they keep getting convicted of fraud with, boop, a slap on the wrist, it's okay. How about that JP Morgan Chase? Convicted of rigging the precious metals markets. Slap on the wrist.
That's right.
$900 million fine after they rigged it for how many years and how many billions did they make?
And the story people forget, poof, it's gone.
Yeah. And how about now those Pandora papers that just came out? About how all these criminal gangsters that morons and imbeciles call presidents, prime ministers, premiers, mayors, governors, senators, on and on, businessmen, hiding and making billions of dollars, mansions all over the world. How about the federal judge legal system? 131 federal judges hearing cases, financial cases that on businesses, financial deals that they're invested in or their families are invested in. I'm not making this stuff up. How about the 400, multi-millionaires that pay no taxes, less taxes than we the people? People call it a government. It's a crime syndicate. It's run by banksters, drug dealers that people call big pharma, The military-industrial complex that General Dwight D. Eisenhower, five-star general, Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces, two-term presidents, warns the American people, his farewell address, January 17th, 1961, that the military-industrial complex is robbing the nation of the genius of the scientists, sweat of the laborers, and the future of the children. And now what? Oh, just passed what? A $778 billion defense budget? Oh, after you just lost the Afghan war and left how many hundreds of billions of dollars of equipment there for the people that you you called your enemy? Oh, and then there's the other one, big tech. I'll tell you what to say. I'll tell you what to think. I'll tell you how to say it. If you don't say it the way I want you to say it, tell you how to say it, you're out of here. And when I was a young guy, younger than I am now, when the whole internet revolution started taking place, oh, this is going to be the place where everybody could speak freely and do anything you wanted to do. It's a crime syndicate. Facts and data don't make any difference in a crime-ridden world. And that's all it is.
Everyone is corrupt, Gerald. I thought of you this morning. I read this report. I said, I got to bring this up. You know, your good pal, Bill de Blasio, outgoing mayor for New York City, misused police resources on his security detail. A new report released shows basically he was using, Secret Service, whatever, to transport his family around, to the tune of $320,000. He never paid it back.
Yeah. And his families all get these free multi-million-dollar jobs everywhere in deals. And his real name is Warren Wilhelm Jr. Do you know that?
No, I didn't. I did not know that.
That's his real name. That slimy little low-life boy used a de Blasio name so he'd get the Italian-American votes in New York because it's a heavy Italian-American population. It was his mother's maiden name.
And then, the other item I want to bring up, even President Joe Biden admitting earlier this week, he called a hospital emergency room when a pal's significant other was languishing. So basically, he said he called the attending nurse in the waiting room Wednesday to ask what the situation was. He said, quote, "Last night, I was on the telephone with a person at an emergency hospital ward in Pennsylvania because a good friend had called and he had rushed his significant other to the emergency room because this woman was having trouble breathing." He says they got her into the hospital, but the waiting room was so crowded. Things were so backed up, they couldn't even get her to be seen initially. So he basically put in a call and got his good friend's wife ushered in. Don't you wish we all had these connections, Gerald?
And I'm trying to say, when you asked him when you started it, you said about the red flags. I said they mean nothing. They're all red flags, but it's a crime syndicate. Facts and data don't matter. The game is rigged. The game is rigged. George Carlin used to say it. It's one big club and you ain't in it.
Right.
So the market should have crashed how long ago? I mean, here you go through businesses are closed down, terrible recession. Hey, the markets keep going up. Markets keep going up. Oh, let's keep putting out more cheap money. Oh, look at that one over there. That's the head of the ECB now. Christine Lagarde was the head of the IMF, the International Mafia, a monetary fund. And now she's over here saying, oh, you just had what? Inflation rates in Europe just hit a 13-year high, but don't worry about it. We're going to keep buying up corporate and government bonds and keeping interest rates into negative territory. And in the United States, what are they buying? Was it $120 billion a month worth of bonds and junk bonds? Buying up corporate bonds? Wait a minute. That's not capitalism. That's what Mussolini called fascism, the merger of state and corporate powers. It's not capitalism. It's gone.
Well, talking about Europe, where's the government to intervene with the increasing energy prices where people don't even know if they can afford to heat their houses this winter in Europe with the rising costs over there? So, Gerald, like you said, at the end of the day, who pays the consequences? It's us, it's the little people, right? And look at the jobs miss. right? And still the market not reacting here. We've been calling for some sort of market correction for 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
What's it going to take?
Well, again, you saw the numbers that came out on, last Friday. Yeah, Wall Street was expecting numbers as far as new job applications from 700,000 to 500,000. That's what they were pumping out. Oh, that's why the markets were going up. They were expecting higher numbers. They came in at 194,000. And the markets went up. They started changing, but they went up. And what happened with gold? Gold shot up like, $20, and all of a sudden, boom, flattens. So, I mean, wait a minute. You said 194,000 jobs were created. They were saying, on average, 600,000 would be created. Where's the economy going? This economy is going way down, and prices are going way up. Look at oil prices now. You're looking at Brent crude over $82 a barrel.
12-year high.
And why do you think that so many people aren't going back to work? It's very simple. Do you want to work at Dollar General to make $11.50 an hour, or Walmart, or any of these other places? So when people had all this time off, they're saying, why am I doing this? This is no life for me. When I was a young man, there used to be a thing called climbing up the corporate ladder. No more. The bigs own everything. Merger and acquisition activity in 2020 and 2021, all-time high. All-time high. All this cheap money coming in, they're buying up everything. You name the sector. Oh, housing prices? And what is it about? The average about $350,000 for an average house? Oh, you're making $12, $13, $14, $15, $16, $17 an hour? What are you going to do? The best I could probably do is rent. But guess what? Blackstone, all these other private equity groups buying up homes. You can rent them out from us. The bigs own everything. The small business has been destroyed. Hey, I'm your senator. I'm your governor. I'm your mayor. You're non-essential. You're just a little piece of crap. But Walmart's, hey, now that's essential. And by the way, no social distancing, no nothing. You could do anything you want over there. Just spend your money. But you mom and pop and everybody else close down because I get paid off by them. Morons and imbeciles call it campaign contributions.
Gerald, you said the corporate ladder made me think of something, because you're right. Those were conversations that used to happen once upon a time. But now when it comes to exit strategies and financial freedom, it's like, which is the next crypto token that perhaps could lead me to that freedom? Isn't it interesting how that discourse has completely changed?
Again, yes. Here, when I was a young guy, they had drugstores, grocery stores, hardware stores. Now we have hardware chains, grocery chains, drug chains, one after another. Hannaford's. They did away with the Robinson-Patman Act, Sherman Antitrust Act, Clayton Antitrust Act, and then in the banking system, the Glass-Steagall Act. When I was a young guy, they did not allow interstate banking. That little peanut guy, the peanut brain, the guy with cojones, the peanut cojones boy, Jimmy Carter was the one that started deregulated the air. When I was a young guy flying in the 70s, first class, used to roll down a roast. Did you want roast or lobster thermidor? Yeah, there were 150 airlines in America. They deregulated it. Now what do we got? Two airlines, 4 airlines running everything. Same thing with the banking system. He did away with the usury laws and started allowing interstate banking. They did away with, again, the Robinson-Patman Act, Sherman Antitrust Act, and then Bill Clinton doing away with the Glass-Steagall Act. Interest rates are going up. Do you think they care that interest rates are going up? No, we raised the prices of everything.
You think they're going to be able to raise those rates, Gerald?
They're going to have to. They're raising them around the world. They're going to have to. Look, Jerome Powell was lying for several months saying it was temporary.
Right.
They're not stupid. These are high-level crime gangs. They know exactly what's going on. They kept lying about it, and now they're saying, well, looks like we're going to have to. Look, they don't want to, because they know when they raise interest rates, they stop that monetary methadone from going into for the money junkies.
Right. But that's why I'm saying I'm surprised you think they will have to.
They'll have to. And I think they're going to do, when they have to, they're going to do what they did when Volcker did it under Reagan. They do it earlier on, bring the economy has to go, they got to stop the inflation. And then what they do is they start lowering them again, lowering again before the election. And that's what they did with Reagan. And then you had the 1987 stock market crash. So they may be doing it for that. I don't know, but they're going to have to. As you see all over the world, they're raising rates, except places like Turkey, where you got that guy Erdogan in charge. And what do you have now? According to some of the data, the inflation rate is at what? 40%? 40%?
Mind-boggling. It all goes back to really the latest edition of the Trends Journal, where you say, life is just so hard now, right? And I want to just talk a little bit about this, that they've made life so hard.
Look what they've done with you can't, if you're not vaccinated, you have no freedom. No, that just happened up in Canada, your country up there, you can't get on a bus.
States now. I was able to cross the border, but that's another story.
But if you're not vaccinated, you can't get on a plane, train, bus, can't go anywhere. New York City, no vax, no pass. What do you think this is going to do to business? How about the hospitality sector? Remember they used to have these things called trade shows and conventions?
Yeah,
what happened to those?
One every month.
Yeah. Gone.
Yeah.
Gone. So what they're doing is that business was tough before, like we say, the cover of the magazine. And now they've made it much harder. It's not coming back. Look at tourism in Europe. Look at the hospitality sector numbers coming out every month. Look at commercial real estate. What do you have? You just heard, the firms are coming out. That big accounting firm, what the hell's the name of it? Just have 40,000 employees. You can work from home. Yeah, we're going to save money. We had 15 stories here now of the building. Now we're only going to take 7. So you're going to have less people commuting. What's that? Commercial real estate was overbuilt before this happened. You're going to see a commercial real estate bust like crazy.
I need to ask you this. Let's bring it to investing now, Gerald. I got a lot of questions on this one. You were spotted hanging out with our good friend Max Kaiser, probably the most one of the most famous people in the crypto world. In the past, you were never warm to the idea of Bitcoin. So the people want to know, Gerald, did Max manage to orange pill you?
No, you go back to the Trends Journal. We've been writing now for going about almost 2 years. We gave the breakout numbers. And we said when it broke over 10,000, it would skyrocket. And now we're saying that if it stays over the 55,000 in that range, it's going to keep going up. Because here's what we kept saying from the very beginning. The Bitcoin market is going to continue to go up until the government stop it. If the government, you can see what happens in China, what happened, boom, they put it, prices go down. Why do they go up? All of a sudden, you're starting to see a lot of private equity groups and other groups and places, countries, we're going crypto. So that's the balance with the crypto market. And we said this as well. If there wasn't a crypto market, the prices of gold and silver would be much, much higher. So the people looking for alternatives, because they know the whole game is rigged and this thing is going to crash at some point, they're going into the cryptos. And we've been saying it from the very start. The only thing that's going to bring them down is the government. And you keep seeing the pressure now coming out with Gensler, who's head of the SEC, and others. That could bring them down. But other than that, we see the prices going up.
Because, you know, Max would say to you, Gerald, you can't stop Bitcoin. Governments, no one, but you don't buy that.
Max has told that to me. I hear what he's saying, but once upon a time, I'll never forget, I was a little kid and my father, may rest in peace, was telling me, you know, he said, back in the 30s, he said, I was over your grandfather's, you know, and all of a sudden I see him, he's packing up all this gold. I said, Pop, what are you doing with it? He said, the president wants us to return her the gold, so I'm giving her the gold back to the president. Because they were real patriots, you know, they came from Italy and they couldn't believe how great America was. So my father said, what the hell are you doing that for? He said, don't turn it in. All right. They turned it in at what? $22 an ounce. As soon as they got all of it, they raised it to $33 an ounce. The government could do it at once. Look what the government's doing now. You are mandated to do this. You are mandated to do that. You are mandated to do this. Freedom is gone. They will do anything that they want.
I could not.
And they have the power to do it.
Turning in their gold today. Could you see that happening in today's society?
Yes, I could see anything happening. Look what's going on now. With freedom is gone. It's dead, finished, finito. I'm the mayor. I'll tell you what to do. Rip that Constitution up. It doesn't mean anything. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their creator with the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. A Declaration of Independence. Happiness? Who the hell are you, happiness? Get back in your house. Freedom, liberty? What freedom and liberty? I'm in charge. The Constitution, the freedom. And you read the Declaration of Independence, it's the governed that used to tell the so-called people in power what to do. It's gone. They will do anything they want. They've taken complete control in a country near you. Name the country. In Italy, you can't, no vax, no work.
Let me ask you this, because I had a lot of emails last time you were on, when you told us the story of you calling up the bank, and I said, man, I wish I was on part of that phone call, and you said, I want my cash out of the bank. The people out there want to know, what did Gerald do with the cash? Where did he convert it?
I converted to gold. I've been
going. There's your answer, guys. Gold.
I've been buying gold. I just bought more gold when it was at, I think it was like 17.14, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I still believe in gold. I believe in gold more than anything. I started buying cryptocurrencies in 2017. You know, so I play that, but I'm also playing the other one. I believe in gold more than anything. Yeah, it's been around for centuries and it's not going to go anywhere. And when this goes down, here, why are gold prices going down? Because they say they're going to raise interest rates. Why are they raising interest rates? Oh, because inflation's going up. Oh, that's right. Inflation's going up. They're going to raise interest rates. What's that going to do with the economy? It'll crash the economy. When the economy crashes, what happened with gold when the panic of 08 hit? That's why I'm going gold. And I also go silver, but you know, silver's been pretty disappointing, but I still see gold as again, I started buying gold, and my first buy of gold was $187.50 an ounce.
Well, you just shared something interesting. The price at which you got into gold, because a lot of people like Jim Rogers would say, you know, he doesn't buy gold, above 1,200 or above 1,000. But when you said that, I just want to pull up a quote from someone I followed in the gold market for a long time, who used to say, if you buy gold for the right reasons, there is never a wrong time or price.
I agree. Again,
right. So you're not looking at that and saying, whoa, 1,700 is too high for me to get in.
No, I think 1,700 is pretty low. Again, they're going to raise interest rates. Gold is going down because of the fear of rising interest rates. The stronger the dollar goes, the more it costs to buy the thing. So that brings the price down. But when they raise interest rates, the economy is going to crash. It's been built up with fake money. What are the banks borrowing at? 0.35%. Oh, go back to that everybody loves that Jimmy Carter. Oh, yeah, they borrow at 0.35%. But because of you, they could charge me what? 27% on my credit card? And they're getting it for nothing? It's a crime syndicate. So going back to gold, to me, why would anybody be invested in dollars, euros, or lira, or anything else? Again, look at the problems going on now with China, with their debt level. You know, they have a debt to GDP ratio. It's almost near 300%.
So you buying gold, more gold now, and thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that, because it just helps so much of the audience out there listening. You buying more gold now, is Gerald Celente preparing for a coming higher interest rate environment, which ultimately you feel will lead to a massive market correction? Am I summing that up correctly?
Yes. Even though the prices may go down again, you know, I don't care. I buy gold long term. And I just keep putting it away, putting it away, putting it away, putting it away, putting it away. And you look over the years. You look over the years. You know, I don't buy it and sell it. I don't trade the markets. I buy the physical, send it away, put it away. And I would recommend to people, again, the motto of the Trends Journal magazine is think for yourself. As I told you, my father, when I used to say something, he'd say, Papagallo, parrot, stop repeating what everybody else is saying and think for yourself. Look what the FBI just did out there in California, raiding all those people's safety deposit boxes in banks. Look what just happened. They'll do the same thing. I tell what happened when on 9/11, USA Today used to run my top headlines every year. And the one for 2001 was, 2001 won't be our year, Trendseer says. I warned that a wave of anti-Americanism was sweeping the globe and Americans wouldn't be safe at home or abroad. You could look it up. You know, anyway, 9/11 happens. I'm watching it on TV. This guy on CNBC saying, well, a plane hit the World Trade Center, but, you know, let's not worry about this. And I'm having a cup of coffee watching this, and all of a sudden you see that thing, boom. I called my girlfriend up at the time. I'm living in Rhinebeck, and she was in Tivoli, just north of here. And I said, Marie-Pierre, she was French. Her brother, Francois, was the left shoulder of Jacques Chirac in Mitterrand. I said, Marie-Pierre, plane just hit the World Trade Center. Get your money out of the bank. I called up the bank. I forgot the bank in those days. I had CDs. Remember, you used to get interest rates? I called them up. I said, I want my CDs transferred, cashed out, and sent to the bank in Rhinebeck. I'm sorry, Mr. Celente. Wall Street is closed. We can't transfer your CDs or cash them out. Next thing I did, in those days, I had my money in safety deposit box, the gold. The planes they're saying are going down the Hudson River, and I know this area really well. I remember when they built Indian Point and the nuclear power plant. I said, if they hit that thing, there's going to be chaos like we've never seen before. I had my guns, gold, and a getaway plan. And my getaway plan, because if that hit that, there would be chaos like we've never seen, was to go to Canada. And in those days, they had maps. So I was going to take the back routes because I knew they'd shut down the major highways. And I go to Canada. If it were Canada, I could go anywhere. And I had my guns, gold, and a getaway plan. So everybody was going nuts. I planned ahead.
Right.
And that's what I tell people. Plan for the worst.
Yeah.
If the worst doesn't happen, you lose nothing. If the worst happens and you're not prepared, you lose everything. And I'm saying to people, again, do what you want to do, prepare for the worst, because we are living under conditions that you could have never invented in January 2020.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It reminds me of a lot of, what you're saying of what Robert Kiyosaki always says, is be prepared. And, he has a plan, but it involves his private jet. But anyhow, It's interesting what you're saying, Gerald, because, in all the years I've been doing this, I don't think I've ever seen a year where I had so many experts warning about what you just said about being fearful of the cash they have in the banks. And, I can't tell you how many segments I've had people come on saying you need a plan outside of the banks because you might not be able to access that cash. And people, experts who've never really said that before coming out, that I was even surprised to hear that coming out of their mouth.
Well, take this. Why would you keep your money in the bank? You're getting nothing for it, and they're loaning it out and making money on it. It's a crime syndicate.
No, it's definitely something to think about. I guess people are just thinking, well, how do I pay for my bills and myself? And some people say, well, you need a little bit in the bank.
A little bit in the bank. I keep a little bit in the bank.
Right, right. All good thoughts here, Gerald. I mean, I always give you the last word. I know you've been sharing a lot of time and spending time. Well, I said, Max Kaiser, Kiyosaki, Judge Napolitano. Have they enlightened you with any thoughts that you'd like to share or any other observations here?
Well, they're all great in what they do, and the things that they see. And I learned from them. I learned things about Bitcoin from Max Kaiser that I don't have a clue about. And you think about it, this guy's been doing it for a long time. He's made himself a lot of money. This thing was down to nothing, So, and Judge Napolitano, we even do a podcast. He talks about, how they're robbing us of our rights, a violation of the Constitution, one after another. And Kiyosaki, I mean, what guy is brighter than him in the field that he does is nobody can match him. So you learn from, you never stop learning. That's the whole game. This is what I do every day. Every day, I read from all different, underlining all the salient points of stories, one after another, after another, after another, after another. What's this one? Seoul plays shy girl at prom as U.S. corrals allies to counter China. This is from the Financial Times last week, 10/6, October 6th. You read a story, okay, what does this mean? Oh, there's all this talking about the tensions between China and the United States and Taiwan. And why is Seoul doing this? Why? Because China is their biggest customer. There's not going to be any conflict between the United States and Taiwan. You got BlackRock over there. You got Goldman Sachs over there. You got JP Morgan Chase over there. And you got all these companies doing business with China. So that's what I do. I look for the facts. So you read, and that's what trend forecasting is, making connections between different fields. I'm a political atheist. I look at things the way they are, not the way I want them to be. And as I said, the 20th century was the American century. The 21st century is going to be the Chinese century, because the business of America has been war. The business of China is business. The United States just passed a $778 billion defense budget. Great. Spend more money. Hey, great job you did over there in Afghanistan, man. More money for you guys. No, you did a great job in Iraq. Hey, how about what you did to Libya? Richest country in the world. Now it's a hellhole. Terrific. What's China doing? Belt and Road Initiative, buying up ports all over the world. So when you talk about now, the head of the Navy, yeah, they come up with a plan now. We're going to protect the South China Sea. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're not going to beat the Chinese. Look what we did. All our manufacturing, gone. Thanks to Bill Clinton. Thanks to all of them. Gone. And now, there's supply shortages. And now you have to worry about shipping, bringing things in. You mean you can't make it at home anymore? You used to. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to make it in other countries where we could get it made cheaply. I grew up during the Vietnam War. We were taught to hate those commie Vietnamese. All the Americans that died, the 3 million plus that they killed over in Vietnam, Hey, yeah, but now it's okay. It's a commie country, but we could get the stuff made there cheap. So keep it going. And again, I'm not against Vietnam. I'm disgusted what happened, the Americans did to them. But I'm just making the point of the hypocrisy and saying it's a crime syndicate in charge.
And we also still have to keep fighting for those made in the USA, made in Canada, made in Italy, whatever products. I mean, I know, just to share a bit, when I can, I do my part. If there's that option, that's what I prefer to buy, because I want to help, what's in my backyard and help those folks. Gerald, just a last note, we're speaking, we just had a Canadian Thanksgiving, Columbus Day here. It's Italian Heritage Month. I know how important that is to you. I just want to say how grateful I am that you're in my life and that you keep enlightening me. And I just want to thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's very kind of you. I have to tell you, I'm heartbroken to see what's happened to this country. And it does not take a majority to prevail, but rather an irate, tireless minority, keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men, said Samuel Adams. And if we don't fight for our freedom, we're going to keep losing it and losing it. And that's not my kind of America. So thank you for all that you're doing. And again, people say, do you have a solution? No, it's an easy solution. Bring back all the trade tariffs and barriers that you had before they did away with them, and make your country a self-sustaining country. We have 332 million people in America and more human and natural resources than we'll ever need to make what we need to make and have to make. We could make it here and bring the country back. But look what they've done. They've taken the jobs away from us that created a middle class. And that's what we've been chained. So I want to break those chains.
Right. Well, it's the governments. The government gave the jobs away.
That's right.
Gerald Celente, come back anytime, okay?
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, friend. And thank you for watching. We'll have much more for you. In the meantime, be sure to stay tuned for more great content on stansberryinvestor.com. And for premier content and special offers you can't get anywhere else, don't forget to sign up, DanielaCambone.com. That's it for me. Thanks for watching.